had last left it off, the party found the Truth Gate. They found Suwon and Vahan combat. Suwon briefly overpowered Vahan and was tempted to use the Truth Gate. However, Otti, as well as others, was able to stand him down. And as he came to the realization of this, he was attacked from behind with Vahan. But a quick firebolt from Otti knocked him into the Truth Gate, and there was a moment of confusion, not knowing what that meant. And before you guys could figure out what to do, Vahan exited the Truth Gate. Older, scruffier, but far more powerful than he'd ever been before. He threw Suwon through into the Truth Gate and activated the ultimate technique, which runs the 8 palms of heaven and earth. And one of the most intense battles of your lives took place. The entire area became ruined, a scene of destruction. Vahan, overpowered, gathered all of his ki, tried to unleash all of the elements down upon you. However, with the gauntlets in tow, Otti was able to smash through his powers, get right up into him, and blast his power away, creating a shockwave that literally vibrated across most of the planet that you stand. Battle came to a close. Otti, before consulting anybody, went into the Truth Gate to find Suwon, and she found him. Soon enough, the Truth Gate materialized. Eleanor. Conversation took place. Suwon eventually realized, however, that he will always want to be with Eleanor. Now that he could see her in face to face, he couldn't see any other path than with her. So he gave a tearful goodbye to Otti, wished her well, as did Eleanor, and Suwon Pati departed from the material realm. As Otti found herself back at the Truth Gate, the body of Suwon Pati dispersed into golden lights that scattered in every direction. And all that was left was the little metal locket of your old family portrait on the mountain. The Truth Gate itself has dispersed and disappeared, leaving you all behind, alone, this empty realm. From everybody else's perspective, Otti rushed inside the Truth Gate, and as soon as you came up here, the gate itself disappeared, and Otti was kneeling on the ground, clutching Suwon, who has now just dispersed. River is wide-eyed. Immediately see her face scrunch up into an extremely unforgiving kind of crying face, like a really ugly crying face. All sense of composure and training has just left her, and she just collapses down to the ground and buries herself in her hands and begins to sob. What do you guys like to do?
I'd move over to Otti. Are you too late? Could you not get to him in time?
No, I spoke with him and he decided to stay with Eleanor and Orienne and maybe live, maybe not, but they're together.
So what wonderful knowledge have you come back with? You went to the Truth Gate. Surely did you not ask how to beat Argoneth? You know, get any special tricks for us?
Surely witnessing a family reunion that is like 30 years too late is pretty truthful and honest.
I mean, you're asking the wrong person about truth and honesty here. Let's be fair.
I'm just going to take the locket and just be like, no, just... It was more Suam's truth than mine, and I'm glad that he's okay, but... You know. And I go over and try and hug River.
She has that like really ugly crying face. It's like tears are just sobbing over her hands, and she's like kind of hyperventilating, and she says some words, but they're just so blubbered out you don't understand what they are.
Yeah, I'll go over to her as well. And I guess I'll try to comfort her. I'll say kind of like, it's okay. You couldn't have done anything more. It sounds like he made his choice, and he would have made that no matter what.
She like wipes her nose and her eyes and her bit. She goes, "What happens now? What of the monastery?"
I don't know. Grandmaster, you tell us.
She looks genuinely shocked. No. I can't be Grandmaster. Can't be. I'm not old enough. I'm not experienced enough. I was just made First Master. I can't lead them.
You're maybe the best placed person who can.
Suam made you First Master for a reason. He obviously believed in you.
We need to tell the other masters what's happened. We need to tell the monastery, the world. Suam was a hero, known all over. His passing is a loss to us all.
If I may be so bold, not that I want to take away from our victory or Suam's sacrifice. I think we need to just tell them that Suam stopped Vihan. Last thing we want to do is for more people to come down here to... I don't want to say bug or irritate, but pester Ashoska. We don't want anyone else to come into this realm, try and recreate the Truth Gate, or whatever's left of it.
Seekers of the Truth Gate will die with the very, very select people who know of its existence. And that people is currently on this tree. Many of the masters, they're aware of the secrets below. But only Vihan, myself, Suam knew of the Truth Gate.
And it should stay that way. As I say, all they need to know is that Suam fought and defeated the usurper and terrorist Vihan Adira.
People will ask what happened to Suam. What do we say?
That Vihan released Yaras. It was a mighty struggle.
We can tell the truth, which is Suam is gone, and we were unable to recover him. We don't need to go into any more details.
People will ask for details. He was a hero. Masters won't accept an answer like that. This threatens the future of the monastery.
If we... No, I suppose we can't explain what Vihan was like in his altered form.
No, but we can explain what he was like before he got down here. His students, not even all his own students, followed him. Some of them turned against him. They would be willing to speak out and say what was happening. And, you know, I think a line of Vihan went a little bit crazy, tried to kill Suam. Don't think we have to go into details. I think that will suffice.
The fact that most of the monastery knew what happened with Vihan because Vihan was imprisoned. And, you know, I think, it's hard to find the boundary between the truth and too much information. I think we just keep it as honest but as plain as possible.
Somehow Jack's phone interference has started playing guitar as well. It sounded like guitar strings being plucked as it was going off.
River thinks to herself for a while. She says, I like what Verity has said. I think that's... we want to conceal what really happened here. It's probably what we should say. We'll need to... There's so many things we need to do. We need to inform the masters. We need to put the fires out. We need to get the monastery back under control. And when things have calmed down, we'll need to hold a service. As tradition dictates, the passing of a Grand Master. I don't know if the other masters will accept me as Grand Master.
They have no choice. Even Vihan, in his crazed, power-hungry state, respected that there was a system, that there was an order, and that was what he was, in a twisted way, fighting to preserve.
I mean, he respected that system until he felt cut out of it, but then he went outside of it to get his own way.
You
I'm
see
not
what I
saying
mean?
the other masters are quite as evil as him, though.
But what I'm saying is what he did for the monastery, and what he thought was protecting it. It wasn't right, I don't agree with it, but what he thought he was doing was purposeful, and that he was trying to preserve that from us, the outsiders. Even the most difficult to reason with master will have to accept that very point. The first master, River on Mountain, is now Grand Master by right of succession.
Just out of interest, what sort of state is Vihan's body in?
A charred corpse, like... think all the life from him has been disintegrated, and all that's left is kind of like a burnt husk.
But a relatively intact body?
So what you're saying is, are there bones? Is there a body that could
What
be
I'm saying is,
reanimated?
would Vihan be quite powerful to our cause?
Do you say that out loud? Or is this internal Rennas monologue?
I mean, the looking at the body was definitely internal. I would, if I was going to say it, I certainly wouldn't be saying it in front of River. I would be saying it quietly to the party.
Okay.
I mean, we have decided to side with him. We may as well use his talents to the best of.
I just
we've got a
worry
dragon.
if the monastery is going to fight with us, how will they react to seeing a dead one of their former masters, regardless of whether he was evil or not, on the field?
I mean, it's going to be a big battle. We'll just take it at opposite ends.
Vihan's on one side of the army, the monks are on the other side.
No.
Problem solved.
Like, it's one thing to have a dragon, it's another thing altogether to have someone, like...
I've actually got the most perfect image of you bring Vihan to Gatan, and I'm going to share that in the group now. Hold on. So just imagine that you go to Gatan, you give him his corpse and say, this person mastered the most ancient techniques of the August monasteries and ascended to a level of demigodness. He's now
Is it going to be a...
Do with him what you like.
I was imagining a little burnt monkey. Let's see if I'm right.
Yeah, that. I love that fucking picture. Bueno. Yep.
There's also the question of whether we give like Catan too many powerful things to control, and once the battle's done, he just turns against us and does what he wants. So there's that fact of it as well.
I mean, if he wanted to, he would have done that in the fucking in Jareth Shakai. Like, he gave up his position to honor a deal, and now he's made a new deal with you guys. And you guys, if you guys keep on giving him shit, I mean, he's not particularly ambitious. He's just weird as fuck.
Man likes his bones. He is the bone zone.
Isn't the issue with the components more than anything else, though?
In components, aka body parts of certain creatures.
I thought he wanted things like diamonds and stuff as well, and that's where
he does need diamonds and stuff like that.
What was the dragon's name in the ice caves? Was it Shrike? Or was that one of the ones in Jareth Shakai? Okay.
No, Shrike, Frigid Calamity.
That was it. Because Shrike was the first one, so he was like a freebie. He still had reagents for that, so we would need to start getting some more.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, whether that comes to everyone's mind as we start looking over at Yaris, just 2 dragons, or not.
Problem with Yaris is that I don't know whether his mind was that corrupted that he wouldn't be able to determine who was the enemy and who wasn't.
Well, the enemy would be whoever Catan told him the enemy was. That's pretty much how undeadness works.
Their soul is no longer a complying factor in regards to what Catan's doing to them.
And that being said, this guy literally has spent the years being chained up. Do you really want to chain him up again?
I mean, he's not chained up, he's dead. We're just animating the meat.
His purpose was always...
You know, you guys are literally doing the exact thing that the monastery did when they put him to a use. The only difference is that when they did it, he was alive.
I was literally going to say the same thing. Like, he's served a purpose in life that was against what he wanted. He may as well continue doing that in death.
Or leave him alone in death and give him some fucking freedom for a change.
Wait, I don't really understand how a dead dragon's going to benefit us that much.
Undead dragon.
Told you.
No, true. That's right. That's fair. Russ doesn't know any of this. Ixnay on the dead talk A.
Yeah, I thought you were just going to take his body parts and suddenly they were like, you know, like radioactive or something, you know?
No. So, like, when we escaped the capital and, like, took a load of the heads of schools of magic, we may have the head necromancer back at our little safe haven.
Not that you know, of course.
And he might be willing to resurrect pretty much anything we bring back to him. So we've already got a big undead dragon on the way.
We've got a white dragon. Yeah.
He's a sufficient distance away from the camp, though, because he is fucking weird, to put it nicely.
He's weird as fuck.
Would the dragon be on our side if it was resurrected, or are we just resurrecting the fight?
It's reanimated.
It would be on Catan's side.
It's literally just
as long as Catan's on our side, it would be on our side.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we know who's controlling the dragons, Catan. If he were to betray us, backstab us, you know, etc., etc. How'd you like being dead? Not very much. Oh well.
Does mean we need to chop the dragon into bits to fit him in the bag, though.
We can just put him on a cart.
How many?
It's a long old journey.
He needs what was basically the percentage of body that he needed?
Like 70% or something like that.
Yeah, like at least he needs most of it, at least.
It was a lot of effort to get the last dragon out. This one seems I don't really want to be hacking up dragons in this, sacred place. That seems a little bit harsh.
We can't just leave a dragon rot in the fucking sacred plane, so we just need to ixnay the, dragon body out the portal, eh? And,
Yeah. Well, can any of you draw portals? Can't we just,
There's a portal
portal?
right
Yeah, but draw the portal to our place, kind of the dragon onto it, and just be like, "Hey, Catan, check outside."
yeah, Verity.
There's not a magic circle there, is there?
No,
Oh, no,
but
it is.
the
Yeah, it's
portal
not far
to
away, yeah.
one.
On the outside, yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
they'll need to draw the one for Parfadellum.
I thought you could just cast it. I thought as long as you know where you're going, you just cast it and then you go.
Yeah, like the caster is the mobile phone dialing the
Yeah.
landline.
Yeah.
It was
We
if
have
we
to know
didn't
what
want
you
to
call
use
it.
a spell slot and all that. Yeah, but we know the Parfadellum one.
So, yeah, we could... will a dragon fit through one of those circles?
I mean,
That's
people can.
You can make the perks. Yeah, the circle is fairly big.
Then that might not be a bad plan.
Sorry, Verity, that you can't get to Julienne.
There's a teleportation circle, but it has to go with someone. What do you mean with someone?
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was eating. Okay, so I have teleportation circle, which means it's 10 minutes to do it, and I can send people with things. Teleport is the one where you can just send objects. I don't have that.
I've genuinely figured that we would just be taking Yaris when we went back to Parfadellum. So it would just be like an over-the-shoulder as we're leaving kind of thing.
Okay,
That
because
was-
I didn't want to send it with someone and then just have the party split for a while. That was...
Unironically, I could portal back with Divine Word at this point. I'm not even joking. I could go, right, I'll see you in a day, bye! Cast Divine Word here, make
it's
them
like-
X marker, long rest, come back. But I won't do that.
Yeah, and I only have the one spell slot left.
I made a mistake. Yaris isn't that big. Yaris is that big. As he was on the previous one. I made it one size too small for this map.
It's fine.
So will he still fit through a teleportation circle?
Probably.
Kind of mark.
Everyone gets a limb and a body each. Someone has a torso, someone has a wing.
I am
someone has a
probably literally the size of his paw.
Yeah. He's a big ass dragon.
tail. Yeah, it's fine. We're okay. We'll sort something out.
The 10-foot diameter, which is, I think, roughly the space he's in. So if we all just hop on top of him,
10-foot diameter, you say?
yeah,
Well, what a coincidence.
yeah. So I draw it. We all just heft him onto it. Jump on the dragon. I finish the circle. We bamf out.
Did you want to go now? Or later?
Later.
Yeah, we've got stuff to do here before we go back to Park.
Yeah.
I
Are we
need a
going back to
rest.
Park? We need to walk. Oh, we need to decide where we're going afterwards, but then I need to see the map again to know where Parfadellum is in comparison to where.
Parfadellum, north of Brine, northeast of Fortnite. Brine's kind of middle left-ish.
Okay. We can discuss it, but yeah, I think for now maybe we should get the bodies out of this place and try and get them back into.
So you want to take the
Real
heart with you,
world?
is that right?
Yes. Did Swarm's body come back out of the portal as well? Didn't it?
Oh, it's evaporated.
Oh, right, okay.
It
Right.
did, but then it turned into the gold dust.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Hmm.
So yeah, we dragged Vahan out. I think. Literally just grabbing one foot and just dragging him along the floor, banging his head on every rock we could find.
And we're telling people that Soam is buried within Ashoska's domain.
That
Just so
seems
people
fair.
don't ask any further questions, they know that Ashoska would keep his body safe and respected.
Some
And it's
people
technically true.
Some people might ask who's a Shoska.
Yeah, I was gonna say, some people don't even know who a Shoska is.
Well, those are the people who don't require answers from us. They just need to know that Soam is buried. The people who know Ashoska are the ones who have, right to privy of that knowledge, I assume. The Masters.
The masters
Anyone-
know who a Shoska is.
river
Yeah,
or
for anyone
mountain
below
hill?
that, all they need to know is that he's buried somewhere peaceful and safe. And the masters can know that he is within Ashoska's domain, resting forever.
Okey-doke.
But if someone could give me a hand dragging Yaris out. I've got
Can I get-
stone giant strength, but
Can I get strength checks from those who wish to track Yaris, please?
I will definitely help you with my
Oh.
immense strength.
Yeah, I'll help.
just straight strength.
River will take the harm.
Like, I'll give it a
I
go, but
helped!
I'm not promising much.
Did you?
I'm stronger than the elf.
Damn,
Russ,
weak
that's
elves.
Yeah, stronger than the elves.
Russ, you clicked a strength save. You may re-roll strength. I
it's even-
do it if it's the other way.
It's even worse than that then. No, it's the same. It's the same. Hang on.
That's also
The
the same
better
as Verity.
Verity, that's a strength save. Please re-roll.
Oh.
I do it.
Oh, I
I
did
do it if
better.
it was the other way.
I forgot I have my jack of all trades thing or whatever it's called.
I was gonna say it would have been the same either way.
Okay, so everybody grabs a part of Yaris and begins to drag him out over the light bridge. Once you, one by one, you step over the threshold. And once again, you feel that sensations of weightlessness being twisted back and forth. And you all find yourselves back in the inner sanctum. Ashoska sits before you. She is hurt, but she is alive.
A nightbite body on the way.
There's no Nightbite body here that you can see.
Nightbite's further back.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm putting a bridge in between.
Yep.
Okay.
Ashoska eyes you all. Because you are here, Vehan is not. I assume you won.
This time.
We managed eventually to defeat him, yes, but at a cost.
Where is Suwon?
Gesture to Otti.
He was pushed through the Truth Gate by Vihan and made the decision to stay.
As I had feared. I knew if he used the Truth Gate he would never come back. I knew what his truth was. I can take solace in the fact that he will be happy wherever he is. But please, leave me to my grief. I have lost much this day.
Well, if you need anything, do summon us. We'll stick around and try to help you all get through this.
She looks you all over. As you can see, her white eyes, like blank eyes, get mistied up a little. Then her gaze turns towards you, Otti, and your gauntlets. She says, "They fit you well."
Perfect size.
Do you understand what they are and what they mean?
As much as I can. However, I do want to understand more before using them against anyone else.
They are protected as they are within this sanctum. There are enchantments here that block the presence of multiple things. I want you to know that if you believe you are ready, you may leave this place with those gauntlets. Doing so, they will no longer be under those protections, and the eyes of extremely powerful beings might gravitate towards them. If you are ready for that, then you may take them. If you believe that is not on your path for now, if you believe secrecy and anonymity is your best strength, then I will protect them for you here.
I'm gonna look over at Korgrin.
I would say this is a party decision.
Yeah.
If you believe you're ready for the next level, you can leave. If you want things to stay a little bit more simple and not have such dangers placed upon you, then you can leave them here.
So up until now, we haven't faced any danger, is what I'm hearing there.
I think it's more we haven't been directly hunted with a massive glowing beacon going on our heads.
I mean, Rennas recognises the value in them and never been one for much forethought, so he's all game for taking them. It'll bite him in the arse, but you know, what else is new?
I'm trying to think of things that would want to take them. Demons and devils do spring to mind. Also, incredibly celestial beings who see it as a tool to fight evil. Probably also possible.
Planar travelers too.
Yeah. We are a party of 8. Each of us is, sorry, not 8, 6. Is it 6?
I was wondering who else there was. I was like,
I've been watching too much Critical Role already.
There are 8 of us, because we got Bella and Loic.
1, 2, 6, yeah, there's 6 of us.
Bella and Loic.
Yeah, it's literally just because I've been thinking of Critical Role, and I'm thinking there's 8 people around the table, and that's why.
Yeah.
I've been watching the new campaign. So there's 6 of us, level 16 right now. We could probably take, generic CR 20, 25, maybe. If it was one thing. However, that's generic monsters. Jack always has said himself he'd have to homebrew shit. They are incredibly powerful. At the same time, do we want them for now, while we're still going to places?
Let me put it like this. You're at a point in the game where if you had swung by this place before you went to the capital, there wouldn't have been an option. You are powerful enough now to be given that option.
I'm just wondering if, the benefits of swinging around picking up ancestral items before the massive fight, because right now we've got things which would probably be best if we weren't being hunted for. But then I don't really want to give Otti something powerful and be like, no, you can't have it now.
Yeah,
it feels with everybody else.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, we've got to, what are our options? Go find the big dragon out on the sea. Go to the
we've still
forbidden.
got loads. We've still got loads.
Yeah, go to the deserts to find the Colossus. Kill Vectra the Fast.
Deal with Goliath the Mighty. Deal with potentially other parts of the army that we don't even know about.
Yeah.
Other dragons potentially that we know. Aurora. That's not even to say other planar beings. We've got to go to the Hells. Do we want to go through the Hells and then go, holy fucking shit, you guys! Did you just pick up that massive magic boner that just entered our realm? No, but I am now. So it's...
Yeah. And there's also, if we take them back to Parfadellen, does that then completely get rid of the hidden elements of
That's
Parfadellen?
exactly what I was just thinking as well.
Yeah, we were also having that discussion.
I was wondering if Parfadellen's magic would hide them, but then it's the same as, beat, beat, beat. Hang on. Where'd it go? Where'd the magic item go?
So, yeah, I feel shitty for saying it, but maybe for now, and, when, we are ready to go into the next stage, go and do a swing around. Because if you want, you can have Grace's glaive as well, unless Verity wants it, because I am ranged, not weapon, not melee.
Unfortunately, nobody's strong enough to actually wield the glaive at this point.
What strength does it require?
23, I believe.
Korgrin is currently strong enough to wield it with the potion of giant strength. Not that he would, obviously.
You can temporarily wield it.
Exactly. I feel amazing! Wears off.
You can temporarily attune to it.
And then have it ripped out of my hands. The attunement fails. I take 88 psychic damage. Die.
Even being a descendant, I still took a fuck ton of damage. I think I had, 4 levels of exhaustion after wielding that weapon?
Yeah.
Well,
that's because you used it for its special function. So.
Yeah. I think, on the one hand, incredibly powerful magical item that we know exactly where it would be if we ever needed it again. If we did say, want to go fuck up Vectra, and we make a pit stop in Maltokyo, and then we pick this up and then go fuck up Vectra, or vice versa with, Aurora, or Goliath, or, as you say, in the final battle we roid ourselves up. At the same time, it does feel shitty. I think, ultimately, how do you feel, Ellie, about potentially having to leave it behind?
I kind of feel like we've got enough mortal people, on the hunt for us, the whole capital, and everywhere that we go we're going to be hunted down by people who are on Edgar's side, that maybe not delving into the elemental side of it, the people who can track it, is probably not a good idea until we get rid of some of these bastards first.
When we can say that more of the map is on our side, you mean?
Yeah, especially because it's just going to be more and more people who've got to just fight at every place, and if I'm guessing we're kind of going more to the northwest, where there are more demons, and where all of the original stuff with the demons started. Could they track it? Are we going to put more of a target on our heads? So
I suppose. Yeah, something that we haven't really thought of as well is that Suam so far has been the first person that I can remember that has been alive for the war and present. Obviously Vihan was, and there are some players in the game that, not players like us, I mean players in the world that have been.
If you'll remember, Councilman Halftray, who you fought with at the Life Tree, was actually in the war. He was only a soldier, but he was in the war.
Yeah, so there are people that may also recognize them, and so far the knights still have the stigma. So if we did meet someone and they went, hang on, why are you wearing, taboo knight Eleanor's gauntlets, who was responsible for fucking killing the king? What is wrong with you? Who are you people? Get out of my city.
Swift punch from the gauntleted fist. And then they don't bother asking again.
This may be something that you're already way ahead of, but what about any magic to conceal anything kind of long term? I'm not talking about like us casting a spell every day, but anything that we could obtain from somewhere or get someone else to cast or...
Well, we were obviously we've been getting scryed on by Edgar, and was it you, Arri, who bought the
I have an amulet of proof against detection. Yeah, I gave one to Russ as well.
Did they require attunement?
Yes, they did. I'm pretty certain.
Are you sure? I don't think so.
I
You can't
made
just
it
bluff
with my
them on the
mind.
Against detection, was it?
Detection and something. Amulet of proof against detection
Proof
and
against
location.
detection and location, yes. Requires
quite a
attunement.
lot of iron does help against detection. It's actually it's lead actually. It's lead that helps against detection.
A lead box. So we can get like a big lead box that you can keep your gauntlets in.
Yeah, it's like an inch of lead or
Or
something.
get Otti some very thick lead gloves that we put on top of the gauntlets.
I like it.
So
Like,
we're-
if there wasn't the magical element of it, then it would be a case of, it would be easy to disguise with the weapon bonding as well, because this counts as a weapon. They can stay in a bag, and then I can bring them out when I need to, and I had thought of that already. It just... If it's going to put more of a target on our heads than it's already got, then I'm just not willing to risk it.
Fair.
I'm sure we could also like alter the appearance of the gloves in some way. But yeah, that's not me saying we should do either thing. Just another thought.
If it was just the appearance of the gloves that we were worried about, then yeah, we can disguise. I can do minor illusion. We can disguise them, even under some fabric or whatever.
I was
but
literally going to say you could wear a pair of gloves over the gauntlet.
I had already thought of that. I have already thought of that, but it's also because they're going to be magic and because they're going to be potential that they could be tracked. Then
Even sunglasses can't block out the sun.
Exactly. So, in her vulnerable state, I think losing one family member today and not wanting to lose anyone else, aka you guys, I would be reluctant. I want to leave them. I personally want to leave them.
Fair. Reasonable. We know where they are, we know how to get them, we know who's responsible for them, we can always come back and get them. They're not going anywhere. Hopefully.
And I imagine they're safe with the Shoshka because Vihan did make off with them.
A dragon made off with them, and that was only because Vihan knew they were no, maybe. When he broke in, he found that they were here. Whether he knew they were here previously, don't know. Something we can ask Ashoska. She was literally here.
I think he got
did
through
get through?
previously, did he?
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He failed at the gate. He failed at the door. So he's never been in this room. Unless Vidage has, or something along those lines, but Vidage was prior to... Well, Vidage was alongside Suom becoming Grandmaster. He was here at the time. So whether he'd ever been in here, don't know.
You could ask her Shoshka.
Yeah.
She knows. What's here?
Just... Ashoska?
Yes.
Who took the gauntlets? Was it... Did Yeris pick them up and bring them along? Or was it Vihan who strapped them to his back?
It was Yeris the Chained. Dragons are exceptionally powerful beings. He was able to move them. I don't think he would be able to use them, however.
And was Vihan surprised to see them here? Was he aware of their presence, or no?
When Vihan arrived, I barred his entrance. I declared him that he was not worthy, and that he must turn around and go back topside. He did not appreciate this. He sent his men to attack me. As I was dispatching them, he went around and destroyed the artifacts that I have one by one, leaving only forbidden techniques at home. Verity, that was what he was seeking. Knowledge. The eight palms of heaven and earth. When the dragon arrived, I was forced to abandon my position, and the way to the Truth Gate was opened. The harm took what men was left, and entered the portal beyond. Swarm and River came. I told them I would handle Yaris. They must stop the harm. So they went after them. Yaris, however, was able to get the best of me. He took the gauntlets and went in through the Truth Gate after his master. But a few minutes later, you guys arrived. That is my recollection.
Would you say Yaris only took them because he recognized them as being incredibly powerful magical artifacts?
Dragons are creatures that covet exceptionally powerful items regardless of the color.
Okay.
That was by far our strongest item here.
So Vihan didn't actually realize the worth of them, it was just Dragon C, Dragon 1, which kind of belies their nature.
Yes.
Nas starts wondering secretly if he's a dragon.
You silver hair?
You may have some... Like, Ashoska looks at you, Rennas, and you hear in your mind, maybe you have some draconic bloodline buried deep down. You'd have to unlock it first. Just saying, if you weren't to ever wanted to become a draconic bloodline sorcerer, you know, there.
I shall think, thank you.
I think ultimately, Otti, the decision lies with you. But I get the feeling you probably know where we all stand.
I stand right here.
I smack him. Arri literally smacks the back of Rennas' leg, because you can't smack the back of his head.
Yeah, like mid-back. Like, oh, ouch kind of area.
So I'm gonna take them off. And
As you stare at these gauntlets, you can't even begin to imagine what they've seen and what they've experienced. Everything Eleanor ever was, channeled through these items.
I'm gonna put them back on the pedestal where they were. And I'm gonna take the portrait that I found in the house, not the complete one, I'll take the portrait, and I'm gonna roll the portrait up and put it inside this.
So the one you found in the house?
Yeah. And I'm gonna turn to Ashoska and say, I'll be back for the portrait and the gauntlets. Could you please watch over them for us?
With everything I am, I vow this to you. And for my friend. He would be proud of you, Otti.
So?
I'll just put my hand on Otti's arm, I think we all are.
Can we go now?
Safe travels. With that, the party exits the inner sanctum.
Literally. Verity leaves.
I didn't know if anyone could hear me or not.
No, I haven't heard you for like 5 minutes, but I can hear you now.
Yeah, it happens. Like, I put myself on mute and I take myself off. It's like, no one can hear me. I wanted to ask Ashaska if she had any teleportation circle here that I could use for us to get back a little bit easier next time.
Any teleportation circles for like the inner sanctum?
The inner sanctum, or she knows any close that I can try and get down.
The only teleportation circle that I'm aware of within any vicinity of us is the one that my paw stands on now. But of course this goes to a place can't be gotten to.
But one to get here.
There is no circle like that in the monastery. In Maltokyo, I believe so, but not here.
Okay. So I just, make the retrieval a bit easier. But that's fine.
I suppose that kind of begs the question then of, Ashaska, is Yaris with us? Have we all...
Yeah, like, he's slumped up behind you guys, or what? The portal just spat him out.
And Ashoshka didn't think to ask about any of that.
His corpse!
It's a dead dragon. You won. That's all she needs to know.
Just on that topic then of, would you mind if we left Yaris here? We have a purpose for his body, but we need it elsewhere. We'll take it with us when we leave, but right now we don't know how to get it where it needs to go without taking it with us.
You may leave him here. I can't promise he won't be my chew toy.
Just leave about 70% of him.
As long as you only
fine.
choose 30% of them, that's fine.
Yeah, as long as you're not too hungry, it's okay.
Why do we seem to be giving bits of dragon to creatures? Because the cave lion things had some of Shrike.
yeah, we
True.
True.
Just bribe people with
The
dragon
stomach.
bits.
Ashoshka
did
scares
that.
me a bit now. No, Ashoshka just scares me now that she would gnaw on a dead poison dragon. For
I mean,
fun.
you're a giant dog with wings. It's probably hard to find equivalent-sized bones to just, chew on.
I thought of her more of as a goddess, less of a giant animal.
I would
God,
think
that
she's more
needs
of
to.
a cat.
True.
The temptation to summon,
Well,
Hand of Steed and throw the bones.
I mean, Ashoska does have an alternative purpose. She's also going to try and extract the poison glands for use to try and synthesize the poisonous breath that Yaris could make, so they could continue using that as a natural pesticide for their crops. But that's her alternative purpose there. So
I mean, we can do both, Okay, he isn't a flying dragon that can breathe poison anymore, but we're kind of feeding one of our armies in exchange. Seems kind of a no-brainer.
I think that's a fair trade-off.
Yeah. I will, I would maybe one day like to come back, take some claws and some hide, but that's for another day, I think. Not today.
feel free to take any scales that you need. I don't need those.
I was thinking about possibly taking a scale and, if possible, one of the chain loops from him.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can take a scale.
Do you think it's like powerful chain or something? Like magical?
No,
not
it's just so in my head I can go, oh look, the Unchained.
Ah,
I remember which dragon it is.
gotcha.
A question for the party. Do we think we would want to keep in contact with the Shoska? Later?
I would say yes.
Just because, some point down the line, I'm gonna be taking the invocation where I can do sending to book.
Yeah.
It's and I've had discussed it with you before, Jack. Where it's like if I get their name now, I could use it later. Jack.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Like we've discussed before, because I'm thinking about taking the to
The invocation
the-
that lets Verity speak to people.
it replies like right back and forth.
I mean, she would have to write her name down, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to get Shaska to write her name in my book.
I don't think she can do that, but I don't think she's biologically capable of holding a pen.
Print.
Or
I mean, fair
hold
enough,
a
like,
pen in her mouth.
probably do-
You could get River too, and River's the next best thing to Ashoska. River can speak with Ashoska.
So I'm just reading the. I'm just going to read the invocation. What's it called again?
You could try and teach
I-
Ashoska Mage Hand.
I am not sure. Like, it's not going to be for a long time, so don't overthink it now. Because, like, the next invocation I'm actually going to get, it's a different one, but I know it's one that I want down the line. Hopefully.
It's another thing we agreed to do, mind, is find her partner. Although I can't get the scarab now, and that was a whole thing of if I can find the partner, I can ask him if I can have the scarab, and now the scarab's broken.
True, but then it's
That's
two
weird.
Finks on our team. There it is, Gaius.
Yeah.
Trying to get the name of it.
Well, where there's one sinks, there'll be more.
Just wondering if there was any like it can write, it can read and write common or something like that. And if it could write, it does know Mage Hand, so Gyno Sphinx knows Mage Hand. Mage Hand can write.
I'm going to look at Ashoska's sheet.
Like I said, it's a long time till I get it, so if you can't do it now, like, I can always come back at another point when you're able to have a solid answer. Because, you know, it took us so long to get to level 16, it's going to be ages before I get the next invocation after the next level.
Yeah. No worries. I'll read about it and then I'll let you know. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, I'd say we can definitely get River to sign it, and then at least we've got comms with someone at the monastery.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna go take some painkillers.
Just as a heads up for why I wanted the claws, I'm considering commissioning Wade for a Dragon Slayer flail, I think it was. Flail.
How do we find out what we can commission Wade for?
Literally, it's anything. You tell Jack and he'll try and make it work. It's like
Yeah.
100% homebrew items.
He homebrews it, yeah.
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 You can ask for
I don't know
generic
what thing
stuff. Um,
If you ask for more spell slots, you will kill yourself.
yeah, you will
I don't
get
know what
an
thing.
item that explodes on your head when you
The
use
very
that.
first time you use it.
Did any of you try that?
Yes.
That's what
Fair.
I'm
Verity had variants. Verity did have a Wade own magical item. Not anymore.
Blue!
It broke.
Fire, it was a fire dam, and it went on my head, and then I used it, and then it killed me and Bella.
It knocked you unconscious.
And then I found you both on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of a tournament.
Yeah.
And it knocked both of you out of the next fight.
Uh-huh.
It was literally the fact that the line was, "Oh, I'm going to move out the way in case this thing explodes." And then you moved into a closet and didn't tell anyone. Oh, it exploded.
Yeah.
True.
Oops.
Big true. But yes, literally whatever you can think of, discuss it with our lovely DM here, and he will try and get it made.
Yeah.
Do we know how much dragon scales sell for?
Quite a lot.
Can I take a bunch with me?
Make a survival check as you try to take as many undamaged scales as possible.
We're doing that now? Okay. Could I get
Can I give her a hand?
Yeah.
Was it survival check?
Survival, yeah.
Do you want to roll it, George? Or do you want me to?
I only have a +2. Do you want to do it with advantage?
Yeah, I got a +7.
Okay, I'll do it to you with advantage then.
May I
Oh,
get
mine clicked anyway.
assistance for the claws?
Yeah, I can give you on with that.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Boo.
you can. Fucking Yaris got fucked up by Moradin a bit, so a lot of his body was broken from that. I would say you're able to get yourself 7
Like, ignore my
green
roll that I
dragon
gave for
scales.
advantage.
Yeah, I was looking at areas. You'll be able to get yourself 7 green scale dragon. Green dragon scales, that's the one.
You're going to put them in your inventory, George?
If you don't mind,
Yeah.
I need.
Go for it. You're doing your thing with them.
22 is a popular number, apparently.
Yeah, that was for Talon's Jack Claws.
You can get yourself 3 of its talons.
That's
slash
good with me.
claws. Unfortunately, I have to consider Yaris a
I
ruined body
beat
because
the shit out of him with a blunt weapon.
and he was already beat to shit because of the amount of years he's been chained up. So
I will
unfortunately,
specifically put them down as Yaris talons in case that influences like how powerful they are.
not particularly. Like,
But he is
I know
adult,
what you're.
correct?
That's right. He is an adult green dragon.
Russ has like absolutely zero idea of what's going on, but he'd quite like to take a tooth, maybe, even though it's probably useless.
Yeah, no, a tooth is. You can take one out. That won't be an issue. It's green and sickly, but
Yay.
sharp and deadly.
Alright, I might stab someone with it later. Probably not.
Alright. I would say that the body is sufficiently skinned. Anything else you want to try and take off of Yaris is going to ruin him for Catan, just so you know.
That's fair.
So, leaving chamber behind, you slowly make your way back up towards the bridge.
See what state this bloody monastery's in. Fucked.
When you get to the top and make your way out onto the bridge, that guardian has since returned to its position and is no longer functioning.
I forgot we just ran past that thing.
There are, however,
My broom!
a shit ton of bodies on one end of the bridge, and one individual standing. Currently sitting on probably about 5 bodies, like kind of piled on top of each other, and he's just kind of sitting down. And he is very. He's looks like he's puffing a smoke.
You couldn't have left some for us.
Sees you guys coming back. He goes.
By the way, I'm still at like 1 HP. I'm like running to him, like, bye.
You run over towards him. You're tapping around all the fucking bodies around. So you get up to him. Like, what do you do when you get up to him?
I don't know. I'm gonna like fist bump him in the shoulder, like, dude.
You bump him in his shoulder, and he goes, "Kah!" He's clearly
I
very hurt.
equally
And
think that's dead. Really painful.
now that you're close to him, you notice the man's got 3 changes about him. One of his ears has been cut off. 2, he's got a massive scar across his face from like here down to like his cheek, and he's missing his left arm.
Well, there's no need to be scared of him anymore.
Well, I don't know if I have anything that can fix
But he's
it.
armless!
He's arms.
I do.
Oh.
Don't be sad.
Where is it? We can go to a church and we can get a cleric to hopefully stick it back on. And I start looking for his arm.
You don't want to see it.
Just incredibly insulted. Just, I'm a cleric.
I assume you're tapped because I'm tapped.
No, we meant find an actually good cleric. No.
One that can cook a good meal at the same time.
So you start looking for his arm, and you're like, he looks at you.
I mean, our cleric literally summoned his god, but still, we need a good one.
Motherfuckers, I've got regenerate. I ain't regenerated any of your damn limbs.
I was just about to suggest if he prefers one of these arms instead, we can probably just, cut it off and...
Just a drow with like an orc arm or something.
Like, you never know,
Can
it
I
might be
still take a
stronger.
look for his arm anyway?
Pardon?
Can I still take a look for his arm?
Make an investigation check, as he says you really, really don't want to find it.
I do now.
It's in someone's belly or some shit.
You find his arm. It is currently in one of the bodies. It looks like it's been shoved down one of the man's throats, down the esophagus, so the top of the arm where it's been cut off is in the top of his mouth, and like his hand clearly goes all the way down to his bottom.
Thank God he chose the mouth down.
I'm wondering if that was done before or after amputation, though.
Yeah.
After. He's the one who amputated.
I look at it, and it's like at first he looks like scared or something. And I just turn to him and I'm like, "That's pretty badass. Why didn't you do any of that shit with us?" I feel like we got the short end of your assassin stick now, man. I feel like you're holding out on me. And I go and try and retrieve it from the body.
Make a strength check. It's lodged in there pretty big.
Strength check, not a save.
Strength
Retry.
Oh, God. Why do I keep doing that?
I don't know.
No,
Much better.
One better.
I mean, you basically just end up dragging the body around, and it doesn't get sludged.
Like, what were you reaching in to grab? Like, that is...
Nothing. I was stabbing one of his
Oh,
friends.
the guy cut it off and then he shoved his arm down his throat.
He was
Like I
saying-
said, pretty badass.
Well, the guy said that I wouldn't be half as effective now that he's taken my arm, so I shut him up.
We thought you were harmless.
Like... improvised weapon?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys won. Fairly certain I'm gonna die here. I've lost a lot of blood. You guys got any weed?
Any weed?
Yeah.
Doesn't
I have-
fucking Verity still have drow drugs?
I have brow vision herbs! Or I have red
Good
sand
enough.
or psychedelic mushrooms. Which one do you want?
The thing that'll give me a nice peaceful sleep as I don't wake up.
That's not the red sand.
Just
Just
stop
so you know.
being melodramatic. I'll just pump a 3rd level cure wounds into the fucker. 1d8, which is 3d8. Plus 3. Yeah.
So you run up to the guy, you cast Cure Wounds on him, and you can see the stump where he has, like, the it has been pumping out a lot of blood. It looks like he tried to cauterize it, but unsuccessfully. However, that closes in on itself and no longer bleeds profusely. His scar, or his face wound closes up a bit.
Look, right.
And
I know I'm feeling a bit stronger. Give me a day. I just need to make some holy water. I'll get you your arm back.
don't worry about it.
I'm not worrying. It's a promise.
I don't need it.
You're fighting for us should be more effective with 2 arms, therefore you're getting your arm back. Problem solved.
Or he could hold his detached arm in his other arm and have like an extra long one.
He's got reach, is that what you're trying to say?
I
He's
don't know
holding
what
an
I'm trying
arm
to
which is
say.
holding a dagger, so he's like stabbing from really far away.
No, but it'd be really fun to slap people, you know, just, I don't know. That's what I'd do.
No, I think this is a bit of a handful.
Well, I'm very certain the last of the Heart's loyal followers died here on this bridge. I don't think there would be anyone left in the monastery. Unless we're all suicide bombers.
Just so you know, behind himself died at the other end of it, so I don't think you have much to worry about being forced back into service to him anytime soon.
And I'm sure the new
River
grandma.
River is standing beside you guys, and she's giving him death glares.
River, he helped us out. We wouldn't have been able to get past this bridge without him. We would have been later. Can you imagine what Vihan would have done with the extra time?
Wasn't it under his suggestion that this started this entire day anyway?
I mean, the day would have started like this, whether we had gone or not.
Exactly.
You can't blame a guy for struggling with his conscience. Either follow his master or follow me? Us?
The monastery.
If it helps,
Yeah.
I barely trust a little shit. But the reason he was distrustworthy was because he was still half loyal to Vihan. As I've just said, he's not really in the picture anymore. So who's he going to betray us to?
I suppose the test of one's character is truly shown in dire circumstances. So while you may have started this day on the wrong side, Nightblight, you ended it at great personal loss to yourself, doing the right thing. You have my respect for that. I don't really need anyone's respect, but thanks.
I mean, he can listen to me talk for about 3 hours straight, so nerves will steal this one.
I have experienced many forms of torture.
I was about to say the same thing.
That was a unique one. So, now,
Did you say what now?
yeah,
I think we've got a monastery to save still.
I would be surprised if they haven't set out the fires by now.
We still
Well,
need
a
to know
monastery to rebuild then.
who's where and what's what. Day's not over. Fighting stopped, but still lives to save. You've done enough. I think you need to go with the rest of the trainees, and that was at the certain temple near the entrance. You've earned your rest.
And I'm pretty sure there were other students of Vihan who went against him. You
There
know,
were.
There are other
I should
students
start
of
like
Han,
Huh?
if there are other students of the Han who do not follow him, then that's where my place is.
yeah, you guys should like start a, recovery group together.
There are
Oh,
more.
right.
They're in the trainee temple.
I was one of the Han's most senior students. I'll need someone to look after them now.
Yay!
At least until we figure out this entire mess.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh. Verity.
I found this.
I have to give you my apologies.
If this is for like sending us to those demons, don't worry about it. They were a piece of cake. We killed them like easy.
No. You had a broom, didn't you? I
Yeah.
found it.
Oh no.
I had to use it.
Is that down someone else's throat?
Part of it is in that guy over there, another part of it is in that guy over there, and the end of it is in that guy's rectum.
Which
Well-
end?
The bristle part.
Ooh.
I guess you could say you really cleaned house.
I mean,
I
it had a
I
valiant
owe you.
end.
A valiant end being shoved up someone's ass.
That's how I want to go.
I mean,
Wrecked him, damn near killed him.
the broom has killed more people than me at this point, so
I guess you could say he got the arse end of that broom.
Please stop with the puns.
She's just walking through. She's like, I'll see you guys at the monastery. Can't cope.
No need to be so bristly.
Gone.
hung-
Jack, you're
the
really
hung-
doing a clean sweep with these puns.
I think we should
Eh,
sweep this all under the rug and move on.
nice. I'm trying to think of more.
Nightbite moves with you guys. He's lagging behind a lot. It looks like he's been stabbed several times in his legs, but he's not showing the pain.
I'll give him another second. Cure wounds.
It's not really a case of cure wounds, it's more of a case of this guy's been heavily fucking injured.
Gotcha.
He was quite literally on death's door with the lack of blood he had.
I'll help him limp along then, at the very least.
Yeah.
I'm slow anyway.
You guys make your way, not too long later, to the entrance and out to the monastery. Things seem to have calmed down. There are no more explosions. Knowing what you need to do to help, you guys do what you can, splitting up, putting out the fires, finding lost people, getting them all together. About an hour later, it's generally accepted that the monastery, whilst heavily damaged, is no longer in any danger. The masters have congressed the August Soul. The has stuck with you guys the entire time. She's too scared to go see them by herself. But the youngest students didn't have any casualties. At least 500 of the Han students did not side with them. However,
How big was his school? Was his thing in total
Oh.
students?
Probably about 2,000.
Okay, so 25%, not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on top of that, about 300 of the Han students have either surrendered or been captured. Ones that did fight to overtake the monastery.
Maybe
These-
give Nightbite
these-
some sort of input on their fate. You would understand their mindset better than anyone else.
River will say, well then, you would have to come with us to the masters to explain a decision needs to be made. Declarations need to be made. Everything needs to be made. I'd very much like it if you guys came with me. I can't do it by myself.
We can do that.
Always had to rely on Sawam. I don't think I'm ready to stand by myself yet.
You don't have to be by yourself. You have to find someone else in the monastery that you'll be able to lean on like Sawam leaned on you. You work together. That's what you need. You need a right-hand man. Or woman, obviously.
Yeah. Ella has been taken back to the infirmary wing, where it is clear now. Looks like your room was one of the first places that was bombed. So if you had any things that you didn't carry around with you 24/7,
My dust bunny
unfortunately,
collection.
I mean, to be fair, the Dust
Very
Bunny
important.
collection is going to be bigger now.
Verity's very bored at night when she doesn't sleep. Strange things happen, you guys. Strange things.
the monks are very grateful towards you guys, especially as they saw you rush all over the monastery helping people, even tackling with Yeris on the bridges. Even word has been spread of how you were able to convince Master Erog to stand down. They look to you for guidance and hope in this dark time, actually.
Well, then our support of River should go a long way. I think silently inside my head.
Yeah, we probably would make a show of, like, I definitely would. If someone asked me something, like, what they could do, I would probably ask River what they could do. Kind of that sort of mentality of, if we are instructed to go somewhere, you know, can we help with something? We'd ask River what she wanted to do first. As sort of like a sign that we're taking River's command.
Deferring to her judgment kind of shit, yeah.
Well, River's first priority is making sure everyone in the monastery is accounted for and safe, so...
I mean, that helps considering we told everyone to, gather there. So
Yeah.
it goes a bit of the way to identifying who's where and what. And then rescue efforts can go from there.
It is Master Farstar's, Master Erog's, and Master Mimic's students that are currently keeping watch/guard over what remains of Vahan's loyal followers. They are being watched over in the gigantic courtyard outside of Vahan's actual dojo, with such a wide open place. There's literally nowhere they can hide or do anything, so they can literally be corralled into a singular area and just kept under guard.
Sounds sensible to me.
Uh-huh.
Few well-timed fireballs in the centre of it. That seemed to solve a few problems.
Do you guys...
I mean,
Make
send in the
your way.
dwarf with the dodge action.
Spirit Guardians wading through the crowd.
With the temple secure, and people going about what they need to do to get things under control, find people, fix whatever damage has been done, what would you guys like to do?
Have we actually had a rest at this point?
No.
Okay. Maybe go and see the council with River, but then I think that we also need to sleep.
At the very least, we can.
A long day.
I can suggest, like a short rest in the meantime, just for people who are currently on 1 health, to get them back. While there are operations going on in the background, while there are people being sent to do this and go do that, things that we don't need to be involved in, basically. And then when things are more settled and there's an actual okay, now what do we do? Then we can call a council meeting.
Russ is all like, yes, short rest, yes.
No, it's
Yeah.
just I've got all my other spell slots left because I was fucking paralyzed for all of last week.
Yeah.
Mechanically, I'm fine. It's just after a battle like that, I just feel that we would be running on pure adrenaline and would be crashing out
Yeah.
very soon.
Yeah.
I was gonna suggest, instead of Korgrin cooking, Korgrin can happily make a cup of tea for everyone. I'm
Do
mostly
you two? Just don't get help from River.
She makes decent tea.
Well, no, I mean, sleep would
She
be
does
quite
make
beneficial right now.
decent tea, but for
Salt
right
tea.
now, sleep is not what I'm after.
Yeah, salt being key in there, this will put them to sleep, alright. This one blows
Only
them up.
only if she activates it to begin.
Or if you just don't put any in there to begin with, you don't have to worry about it.
But tea-based tastes better with love.
And key, apparently.
Key is love.
Key is life. But yeah, I'm happy
And
to.
now you're
I'm
in a
happy.
cult.
Congratulations. Here's your badge.
I was
first
only
day.
9 years old. I love Key so much.
Sat at the end of
Key.
my bed and prayed to Key.
Alright.
Maybe they have some key bags that you could put in it.
Ah. Keep
So-
it on the down low, will you?
You guys are able to find a nice empty area of the monastery in order to rest in.
Oh, thank God for that.
Do I need to make a skill check for making tea?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to be that mean to you.
No, but the rest of us have to make a con save.
Oh, that's on you. I don't need to make that save. I made enough last session. Yeah. I'll just pour a little bit out for everyone. Just blub, 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 blub. What do we want to do now?
I can also, for those who are short resting, I haven't decided if I am, but if I'm trying to read this thing. Jesus. I'm trying to see that I can use the thing, the Song of Rest thing. It says beginning at 2nd level. Well, I'll just put it in the chat. It doesn't actually say how long the Song of Rest takes.
It takes 10 minutes, so you have to rest for 10 minutes and play during that time.
Okay.
Those temporary hit points from the gauntlets, would they be gone after the short rest?
That's right, yes. Yeah, just to clarify, you'll never be able to get those hit points again. They're a one-time thing when you
Yeah,
first
that's
use the gauntlets.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think I will be
Someone else
taking a
would use
short
them.
rest. Yeah, I will be taking a short rest, but if we stay like a little bit over the time it takes me to short rest, 10 minutes, then everyone else can get an extra 1d8.
Oh, that takes me to max. I rolled perfectly with those dice. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I was missing exactly 46 plus 26.
So I don't actually know what health I'm on because obviously Roll20 resets it when you level up, and I forgot to write it down. I was on about 50 odd, so I'm not
I mean-
particularly worried.
As a DM, I'm just gonna let you know, unless you start shit, you don't really have to worry about recovering hit points to your next long rest. So
That's
So,
kind of
yeah,
what I figured,
Rich,
to be honest.
Roll.
Yeah.
Me and you should roll, Rich, because we're the ones who tend to start
Don't
shit.
go starting shit.
I mean, basically, it's kind of one of those cases. After a fight like that, Han, if I throw some goblins at you, that's just gonna be cheap.
Goblins is awfully specific,
Wow.
Jack. Why are there goblins in the monastery?
Because one of the masters is a fucking goblin, that's why.
There we go. Don't forget your con as well, Russ.
Yeah, but I have to double the amount on the dice because of my magic item. So I'm sort of doing it in bits.
course.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
What's my con one? +3.
Just kind of as I'm going around then, I assume we're talking amongst ourselves at the same time. Do we want to discuss what our next steps are going to be, or do we want to worry about the here and now and deal with that after, when the monastery is in a bit more shipshape?
It wouldn't hurt to begin thinking about where we're headed, but we can maybe save a more in-depth discussion for later.
Okay. And Jack, this is going to sound really strange. Silver powder. If I were to take 25, gold pieces worth of silver, and, I don't know, grind it down mortar and pestle style, would that be sufficient for silver powder? Or would that just be silver or silver metal powder?
Why
Smush silver.
powder?
And did silver coin.
Is my question.
Pardon?
Why silver powder is my question.
To make holy water.
Is that an ingredient in holy water?
Correct. I looked it up. To make
Yeah,
holy
it's
water,
ridiculous, yeah.
cleric or paladin may create holy water by performing a special ritual. The ritual takes 1 hour to perform, uses 25 gold pieces worth of silver powder, or powdered silver, and requires the caster to expend a first level spell slot.
And yeah, sure, as long as you have the tools to do it, then it's not going to be an issue.
Cool.
Ooh,
I'm just watching Korgrin grind up 250 fucking silver coins. Fuck's sake.
I'd quite like to help because I'm proficient in smith's tools due to being a soldier or a half-elf or whatever the fuck gave me that ability.
Thank you.
I'll be being a soldier, so you can repair your equipment in the field.
Yeah, sounds right.
Well, that's why I took it, but I think it was maybe a half-elf thing for the reason why I took it.
No, half-elves don't get proficiency in smithing.
Okay. No, well, I think I could pick a tool proficiency.
Thief tools, obviously.
Did not. I bought some. I'm not proficient though.
It's about the only thing I am proficient in.
Then, yeah,
I
as
got-
part of the short rest, I'll do the ritual as well and just make some holy water.
I'm proficient in 3 Dragons Ante, which I think is a game like chess.
It is, yeah.
What am I
Yeah.
proficient in? Dice. I'm
I got,
proficient in
obviously,
dice.
thieves' tools, obviously. Oh, do you still have the bone dice?
Ooh, I have some bone dice. No, I have some dice.
Good question. I think we do.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
there was
I
a
think
lot
I
of
remember some.
shit back in Greenfield.
It was.
I assume Burb's on Bella.
Yes.
A lot of things on Bella.
I
He was
don't
strong.
have the dice listed down, however, I wasn't here for a lot of Greenfield, so might
Also
be
true.
one.
Oh yeah, you had that crappy warehouse job, didn't you? I'm very happy that you weren't in that anymore. And I hope your current job is going really well. I'm gonna have to ask you about that, but I'll probably do it tomorrow. So
Okay.
expect me pestering you.
That's fine.
Is there anything else you guys would like to discuss?
Well, as Russ, you said, where we're going vaguely, for, personal reasons, I wouldn't mind going to Vorod.
Oh, it is fair. Have you actually told us what those personal reasons are yet?
Good
I
question.
mean, I know what we are,
I
but I don't
think-
think you have actually told us in character because you were
think-
deliberately not telling us.
No, I think I did. I haven't told you about my mother, but I've told everyone about Vorod.
Okay.
Because I did hold back on that for a bit, and then did mention it after a while. So we are aware.
I mean, Vorod is doable. I quite want to head out to the frontier. I know that I have some friends out there that I would like to reach back out to, but I also want to go because it's on the way. the frontier, on the way to the frontier, was like a couple of those places mentioned in the history books with where they stopped to burn down the forest. Wouldn't mind giving that area once over and just little bits like that. And I believe that Vorod's on the way as well, so potentially we could do a journey of that sort. I don't know where that, if it's on the way from Parfadellen, if that would work. So we
could probably make it still, to be fair.
It would be. So we've got Parfadellen kind of. We've got.
It's west of Parish Jukai, isn't it?
We've got a place in the mountains here. You'll see when we go there. Fort Might is here. Along the road then is Vorod, and there's a mountain range like this. And then we follow the road around, and then the frontiers appear. So Vorod is on the direct route. You know, direct. The easiest path towards the frontier. We could trek across mountains, be difficult, and we would end up skipping out Vorod by just going over the mountain range. And we have no idea what would be in those mountains. But at the same time, neither do we know what's on the road waiting for us. So
just to confirm, you have told us why you want to go to Fort
yes.
Might.
Vorod.
Vorod.
Yes.
I think knowing what we do, then we need to go to Vorod. If there is the chance that there are people there that we could assist and offer a place to live, then maybe we should do that first.
That's fair. I mean...
Yep, I'm up for Vorod. You know, I don't have a family myself, but I want to help you guys protect yours.
No idea if there are other dwarves in Vorod though, or if my father was just the only one that was taken. Haven't got a clue.
Dwarves or not, there's definitely people in. Yeah, there's definitely people in Vorod that could do with our help, assuming there's any left.
Yeah,
if from Brian as well.
That's
exactly.
right. Yeah, if there's people who've been sent that way and they've been gone to, was it Vorod or was it Fort Might that they went to?
Vorod.
We need to go and get them out.
Was it Vorod that the Ugberry people said would be a valid thing for us as well? So that's another reason to go to Vorod.
I suggested Fort Might, and then they said Fort Might isn't nearly, you know, a big enough place to control. It's an abandoned stronghold.
Right now it's a prison colony. So
yeah. Whereas Vorod would be impressive enough to control. Well, that's the thing. Fort Might is, you know, it's a fort at the end of the day. It can hold a massive number of soldiers. It's a battalion. It's a bastion in itself. It could also be used as a straw man. You know, nobody knows where we still are yet. Fort Might could be where we've been supposedly spotted, and that's where they think we are.
Yes, I think we're going to need a bit more time here. I think get this monastery back up and running. We need to go and see the council as well. I mean, officially they still haven't made a decision whether they're backing us.
The decision's coming out tomorrow.
Okay. So we can finish doing stuff with the council. Hopefully try and get that council meeting tonight then with River and the rest of them, and try and get that set and give her a bit of a solidarity in a leadership position, which could be helpful during the council meeting.
Yeah, that's fair. I certainly wouldn't suggest us leaving things undone in Meltokio or in the monastery. But otherwise, I'm just thinking, because we want to see, there's things we also need to start planning as well in terms of the long run. Parfadellen is by no means self-sufficient at the moment, and it's not going to grow unless we get trade. Now, we haven't been to Brine yet since.
Trade is tricky with a secret place that you're trying to keep secret.
Exactly. I've got an idea. But we would need, obviously, discretion on both sides. We haven't been to Brine, and that's the nearest place that we can trust. En route to Parfadellen. Meltokio is in itself a city with a booming economy, as far as we're aware. Their trade and commerce would be much appreciated, and I assume would have great benefit for Parfadellen. It would be nice if we could set up trade with Parfadellen and Meltokio. As I say, the details of which I'll wait for everyone else to be back so we can actually discuss, like Arri and Rich. I know Rich, you're probably there and you're still wearing your headset.
He's left the TV on.
Fair enough. If we wanted to set up trade with Parfadellen, we could get runners that met with traders in Brine. That way we don't necessarily have a single caravan route. We just have individuals that take different routes back to Parfadellen without a single, this is where they all go, this is how every single one of them travels to and from this place. We don't do trade directly, but we instead hire middlemen. The usual kind of stuff in that regard of just the fewer people who know where, the better. We don't have anything coming direct to Parfadellen, instead we have everything going to Brine, and then we bring things to Parfadellen. Only those that need to know need to know.
You've also, just to remind you, discovered that the possible key to find the last elven community/settlement in the world most likely lies within the Dwarven.
That was Baron's Ala? Yeah. Because Drogon Demolder was Ice Caves.
Yeah.
So we need to go back to Baron's Ala at one point, and ideally the sooner we do that, the better. As well as the sooner we get potentially, the 9 hells on our side, the better as well.
So, kind of out of character, can we have maybe kind of like big things that would lead us down a whole new kind of path?
Big,
like
obvious,
possible options.
Yeah, so big side quests, or main quests, if that's what you mean. Main quests, Frontier.
Your main quest right now is to depose the king and deal with Edgar by effectively starting a revolution. Out of the 5 territories in Windward, one of them is you are currently working alongside with to rise up. You'll find out their decision tomorrow. Brine is allied with you in everything but declaration. For Frontier, Navarra, and Vorod, you guys have never seen anything about, and of course the 5th territory, Jerish Jakai, the Prime Lands, is your enemy.
Those are all the other side quests just go towards helping you succeed in that, because it's a big task, and you're going to need a lot of help.
Philly does, and we can kind of assume the assistance of, unless they take the stance of, we don't actually want any part of this, we'll just survive by retreating unto ourselves. But then we did have...
After the attack on them.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say, that after the fact, there was Ambassador Lungdon who said he was going to, he was in Jerish Jakai to find out why they attacked, otherwise there would be war. So it seems like it's more of an inevitable thing. As strange as it sounds as well, having the dwarves on our side might make the elves easier. I mean the full elves, the ones that are hidden away in Baron's Ala, because if they come back into this world and like, oh, Baron's Ala, our friendly dwarves, where have you gone? It's like, Baron Zala's not there anymore, but we do have Philly Durzen, so it might help.
Could
Roll-
you point out where Philly Durzan is on the map?
It's like kind of here.
Yeah, Philly Desert is basically very close to the frontier.
Right, okay.
Vorod, obviously we've no idea what's going on in Vorod, other than kind of demon sacrifices, we think. Or demon summonings via sacrifice. Obviously prison of Korgrin's father, potentially others. Fort Might, Jack said, prison colony. Also, massive fortress. Oaken Heath, rubble and ruin, nothing but ash.
That we know of.
Yeah, I was going to say, would be interesting to revisit though, just to see what's going on there.
That's one thing I was going to ask you next time we had some downtime for the scrying checklist.
That's fair. There's also Reichstag's dad, who is currently out in the ocean on, what was the mountain, Jack?
Oh, fuck.
It was like the Mount Celeste, wasn't it? Mount Celeste.
Yeah, I think that's right, yeah.
We've also got a key, which I want to do a legend lore on, which we think was like a divine key into one of the divine realms that was found in Shrike's hoard.
Ooh, well, I'll have to have a look.
I don't know this key at all. I've probably heard magic and turned off. Or divine and turned off, to be fair.
I picked that up. I've got the Baron Zala key to Galabrimbor in my inventory, but I know we got a different one. It was in Shrike's loot hoard.
I have got written from the issue.
Yeah, I know where that key is now.
What was the name of it, just so I can make sure I've got it down?
It's the secret hexagonal key.
Secret hexagonal key. Shrike's hoard. Okay. So we've got that, which we think was... Because I did a successful history check on it, or religion check, something like that, which was... it was a very important key, potentially. Just needed to find the door for it. Obviously then, like I say, we've got the 9 Hells, depose Zariel, help the Rakshasa, who in turn would help others that were like-minded, which would be incredibly useful spies.
Well, you don't have to do them all.
No, we don't have to
do
do
them
them. Yeah, obviously the Rakshasa and the demons in general would be very useful the sooner we get them, because the sooner we get intelligence on the capital and the armies, that's more knowledge that we have for longer, rather than if we do it right at the end, and then they get into the capital. It's like, well, what information is there really to gather at this point? We're about to go into the final battle. So, kind of a toss-up there.
We can always come back to that, because if we get a circle for inside Meltokyo, like, that's where the Rakshasa is, and just be like, hey, we're ready to go into hell, give us the fork.
Yes.
So...
Focus.
Should probably get a fork for this plane as well, because I assume we'll need one to get back?
No, I think you just recast it, and then you can just go back to the material plane.
Yeah, when you're you don't need a tuning fork to return to your natural plane, basically.
That's good.
Obviously, then there's Vorod, which to conquer, get on our side, to get the hobgoblins, orcs, giants, goblins, etc., on our side in the Meltokian forest. That was something we could do as well. Again, they've taken, correct me if I'm wrong, they've taken kind of a neutral position until then. They've said they're not going to be pawns in the war, but they're also not going to join our side until we prove ourselves. Wasn't that right, Jack?
They said they will consider their options if you prove your strength.
Yeah.
As it stands right now, they are allied with the king until you do something to to make them think that they're on the wrong side.
Okay. Well, it might be Brine, Path, Brine, Vorod, Hell, or even Path, Brine, Vorod, Frontier, Hell.
If we're doing Path to Brine, do we not want to at least look at Fort Mine?
We probably would just on route,
on
but not
the way
get involved.
Yeah, maybe not liberate the entire prison colony offhand, but pop in and just find out what the deal is there.
I say Brine because I know we want to go and speak to Horan so that we can continue paying off our debt, so that we can continue using Wade's services.
And Verity scored a teleportation thing
Yes.
to get us there nice and quick too.
Correct.
Okay, so we wouldn't have to go via Fort Mine.
That expires in 6 days.
Yeah,
Okay.
that expires in 6 days, so, that needs to be quite soon, really. Thing is, Frontier, we've no idea what's gonna open up in the Frontier. It
I
could
can
be...
keep an eye on Gerald with you.
With me,
Like-
Korgrin.
Well, yeah, as in, like, you scry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, obviously...
Is Blade there as well?
Yes,
Is that right?
I was just
So-
about to ask. So Blade gave us everyone Tipper's coins. Would that count as an item from Blade that would potentially give Korgrin a link to scry with?
Interesting.
You know more what Blade looks like than you
They-
do my description
they
of
bu-
Gerald as well.
Yeah, they belong more along less to an organisation and not an individual.
That's what I thought.
Fair.
I'm also pretty certain I have one of Blade's daggers.
No, I think you threw one of your daggers at him and he threw it back.
Ah, okay.
Or you might be right, because I know
No,
that a dagger was thrown and you grabbed it.
There
and
was
went, "I'll
definitely a
take this
dagger
back."
stealing situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
might be
I
right.
know you definitely missed a 20 odds mending spell scrolls in his room.
Nice.
Because the fucking bartender Gothy got real pissed off every single time he had to fix the window, so he got mending spell scrolls instead.
Nice. He did like to jump out the window.
Efficient.
He liked his dramatic exits. It's one of his traits.
So Frontier, we don't know what that could open up. Also, then, that's the part of the map that we've not explored, which we know Goliath the Mighty, the giant red dragon, is over there, and
We do have a map of the frontier, though. Not a detailed map of the actual frontier within the
Yeah.
frontier. We've got a map of the county for the frontier.
yeah, that was one that Jack showed us, like, very briefly.
Yeah, we've got that in the bag. That's one that I picked up from town, so we've got it on us if anyone wants to take a look at it.
Okay.
Could always keep an eye on the frontier, and then when we get Vorod, come back to Maltokyo, let the people in the forest know that we've got Vorod, and then go to Hell, as long as things aren't kicking off in the frontier anyway.
True. Also, just had a thought. If we do want to establish trade with Parfadellen and a bunch of other cities, towns, villages, whatever, it might be worth going to Brine first, because Brine we can go pay off part of our debt with Haren. Just get that, refreshed, reset. We don't have to worry about counting down the next 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 days. We could then speak to the mayor, whose name I can't remember.
Rachel.
Clearwater.
That was it. And say, like, oh, hey, so, there's a community. We just want to establish trade. Its presence needs to be secretive, or we don't even say that much, just we want to set up trade. Can we do it through you? It needs to be as secretive as possible. Also, we're starting a war with King. You're kind of being roped into this. Sorry.
Before we left Parfadellen, didn't we leave them with the option of, like, they could send people out to do trade? Like, initially start what you're suggesting. So
Yeah,
people are
no,
going out
no.
and then, like, returning with trade, but, like, they're just not saying where they're from.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
do already
it's-
have that kind of established.
Yeah, this just gets it done on more of a city-wide level rather than
I
just, like,
think
one or two
I think it was
villages.
more of a case of like if you need anything to go and get it yourself, whereas if we actually make some routes to
Exactly.
Brine and then someone can come and pick it up.
It was also suggested that anyone who goes supply runs, they'd be absolutely no one, as in the most indeterminate, undistinguishable person. Literally average Bob go get it, because
Yeah,
no one
so
knows about
that's
average
right.
Bob.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
Assuming that you mean go to Parfadel and then go to Brine, though, because otherwise we're taking a dragon corpse to Brine.
No, to be fair, I was thinking Brine then Path.
Yeah.
But then
I think
one
what we need-
person... Go on.
Sorry. I think we need to go to Parfadel first to see what they've done. Like, by
Okay.
themselves, without us involved. Because how long have we been gone now? A couple of weeks?
Yeah, a few weeks.
Like 3 at very least, because we travelled for about 2 weeks just doing the forest, Maltokian
I can
forest.
do 2 circles a day, so we can go to Parfadel and spend the day there, and then go to Brian in the same day.
Fair.
It's more to I think we need to work out what they actually need. Like, what have they managed to get by themselves? How long will it take to get them? What are they going to need? I think we need to go to Path first, and we'll also drop off the dragon. But
Yeah.
Also,
That's a good
didn't
point.
the
Yeah,
tree
that makes
Parfadel,
sense.
like make it possible that like crops and stuff would grow to like support the city?
Yes, but it's more things like we're starting a war, we need craftsmen, we need materials,
Okay.
we need blacksmiths, we need weaponsmiths, we need armourers, we need
I think we're going to get
stables,
a lot of
we
those
need
from-
cavaliers.
We're going to need we're going to get a lot of those people if we manage to get the people that are being taken away from Vorod. From Brine to Vorod. I think a lot of those people who have been sent to Vorod would likely come and join us and would be able to help us more.
Like, I'm pretty certain I asked my retainers to go and check what minerals and things were in the mountainside based on what they learned from... Because we had a blacksmith there, didn't we? Because we got a dwarf there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my retainers have gone to look to see what can be sourced from the mountainside in terms of materials. It is just then the people who can use the materials.
It might also then be worthwhile seeing if we can actually get, like, Wade directly on side. Not to say that he's responsible then for all of the crafting, but he could oversee the crafting and then teach people how to craft. I know he kind of does it magically, but the very basics of, hammer down, make metal go flatter kind of thing. That.
Is that not like hiring Leonardo da Vinci to teach a preschool art class? I mean, that just seems excessive.
Yeah,
We
but
could
then
pay
we
him
still
with
pay...
components,
I mean-
though, being like, here's
I
this
mean-
shiny dragon scale. You can play
Wade
with this.
might be-
Teach these guys how to make an arrow.
Hell, fucking Wade might be super excited at the possibility of teaching more people. It's her end you have to worry about.
I mean, someone find me Heren's address, and I'll make sure he doesn't turn up to work that day, and
my
problem
best
solved.
With Heren. I am
You
trying.
need to tell us about the debt in character.
I am so excited for Russ to meet Heren.
And then Wade. And then Heren again.
Wade, yeah.
Because it's going to be that order.
Mm.
Well, I told
Not
you,
even
I
sure
have
if I'll be
to
letting the
him
door-
about the debt. I said that, I promised to help pay back because Half-Tree was put in the shit. Heren has given me access to a circle in Brine, but unless we can do any more of the down payment, it's shut off to us in 6 days.
But
So you guys know that.
yeah,
Wasn't
those-
the down
So how
payment-
much do we have to pay?
we don't know.
We don't
Jack
have to
needs
pay it
know.
all back, but we just have to go back with enough to show that we are good to be paying back.
But we
I
still
believe was
need
the
the actual
understanding.
amount from Jack, if I remember right. Because he needed to
I
check
have an
what the
amount
ice
written
was.
down. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was
50k.
50k.
I think it was more.
Way more than that.
Okay, because I have way less than that. I have 380,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Gold?
Yes.
Not
so
copper.
what sort of payment do we have to make towards that?
And I've
10%
already
coming to
done a 2,000 gold towards that.
Oh, it's practically paid off then.
Well, no, so we just have to go back and, if we pay them, another 1,000 gold next time, it's just good to show that we are intent on paying it back. I haven't just taken the circle off them and then plan to abuse it for quick travel. It's we want to be able to come back here to pay you back. That is basically why I'm trying to get access to the circle and get on good terms with Heren, because I know his business is all money. And
If we're spending at least one more night in Meltokio, I could, potentially take a walk around some of the more wealthy quarters, pick out a few houses. I could visit those houses in the dead of night.
Yes, if I have a
See how much
I'll
capital we
sell
can use.
those, see if I can get a decent amount for them.
Aren't you do some more capital anyway, Rennas?
Yes, well, I did kind of mention to Jack that I was going to do that in the downtime before, but then I never actually added it to my sheet. But yes, but that's only like a grand or two from the just for the setting up the Health Spa temple that I can't remember the name of.
The Forbidden Temple.
The Forbidden Temple, yeah. So I have that information to drop off, and I did mention out of character in Discord that I would have done that in the downtime, but I never added the money from my sheet, and I was still debating over whether to tell them about the tunnel. I don't know. Well, I didn't. I was debating whether to tell them about the tunnels. I wasn't quite sure. I think now I would quite happily tell them about the tunnels, but I don't know if I'd still get paid because there's presumably going to be some construction work going on in the monastery for the next few days, weeks, months, where they may well change anyway. So I don't know. Well, yeah, I would tell them. I take the money and then perhaps get told off later when they're all filled in.
I still think that Rennas. I went to say Rennas and started saying Russ, and it was like Rennas. I still think it might be worth Rennas trying to establish a connection between the monastery and the Chippers, because like they have a similar kind of skill set in terms of like dexterity and stuff, and infiltration with some of the. I imagine some of the monks are good at that. Like River on Mountain, she's really good at whole stealth in the shadows and shit like that. Like, I feel like there could be...
It's the kind of moral crossover where I feel there'd be some lacking, and I mean, I'm quite a persuasive guy. I might be able to make it do it, but it just feels like taking advantage. She's just lost her closest friend and mentor in the world. You're
talking about teaming up ninjas with the Italian mafia.
Yeah, like, you don't have to
that sounds like a pretty good force.
And they don't have to do everything together. But I feel like if they establish at least some sort of communication where nobody's going behind anyone else's back, and they not fully trust each other, but have some form of trust with each other, especially going in towards this war, they could be a great allied force working together with us than trying to get them working separately with us, if that makes sense.
I am happy to have a conversation with River. Yeah, I'll have a conversation with River, see if there's any chance that she would consider this. If there is, then yes, we can move along that line.
Just throwing it out there, like, I thought I mentioned it before, but just thought it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think either way, immediately what we're going to do after Meltokyo is Parfadellum. So we know we're going back to Parfadellum, and then we're probably going to be going to Brine. From there, we'll see. Hopefully, Vorod. Vorod seems to be kind of the next quest hub, as it were.
Alright. Just as you kind of all reach an agreement about this sort of thing, you can see from the second floor coming down the stairs towards you guys is over on the mountain. She walks up to you guys and she says, the masters are gathered. Shall we go?
Onwards.
Gods, I'm not ready for this.
You are absolutely ready for this. Suan knew you were ready for this. That's why he made you his second in command.
You know, if they accept me, I'll be even younger than Suan was when he became Grandmaster.
Therefore, you're following on the trend. What more proof do you need?
Some might see it as a violation of tradition. And we all know how that went with someone.
Yeah, but that's a pretty good argument against following tradition when following tradition takes you down that path.
Everyone knows what happened with him.
Some things are taken too far. Some things are worth holding on to. I don't
and it'll
think
be your job to decide which is which.
Yeah.
Shit.
You're not a fool. I'm sure you'll choose the right people to be your first and second hand to help you and guide you in making the right decisions. I'm pretty sure people trust your moral compass. I do.
We'll see. Shall we go?
Oh, is Nightbite there as well?
Yes, he's
Splendid.
currently waiting in the chamber.
That's fantastic. Let's go.
Okay. So she leads you away, back further into the monastery. The corridors and passages that you take to, unfortunately, look a little different in the sense that many of them have seen combat. Some of the ancient statues have been toppled, walls have been indented. Some areas are still a little bit smoky, but they're being aired out as best as they can. Eventually, you find yourself in that long corridor just before the circular room to the August, the same corridor that you guys woke up after the river or mountain sent you to sleep. Back when your journeys in the monastery first began. She walks up to the door, puts her hands on it, and just her fingers slightly caress over the rough feel of the doors. She just goes, alright, let's do this. She pushes the doors open. The other masters are waiting there patiently. They turn to look at her as she walks in. The rest of you come in behind her.
Just to point out, I'm
Just-
at the back.
She looks at the rest of them and she goes, "Thank you for coming, everyone. We have had a very trying day that's going to stay within our histories for as long as we know. Disgraced former First Master Vehan, as we know it, tried to take over the monastery through physical violence of his followers, even going so far as to trying to trick some of the masters that stand here today to disrupt our forces, to distract ourselves. Master Farstar says, "Why would he do this? Surely to take the position for himself? Was his target Suwon? Where are they now, River?" River goes to speak, but she chokes on herself a little bit. She freezes a little. Is there anything you guys want to say at this point?
Yeah, I'd step up. Go.
Unfortunately, no. Same way that not every monk that follows Vihan is innately bad.
Many of them followed his teachings, but knew where to draw the line when he told them to do something they would not do. And they were beaten and abused, the same as anyone else that stood in their way.
Was it Master Irog as well that also followed Vihan's teachings?
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
he sided with him.
Yeah, and wasn't Swarm like, he was taught by Vihan, he'll be hard to sway.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring up the fact, Master Irog was also taught by Vihan.
I am a master who teaches my own way now.
Now. But you did learn from Vihan.
As of today.
Point is, people can change.
Master Fang speaks up and says,
regardless of if anyone can change or not, the fact of the matter is, Swam is gone. I know you can all tell if River, or if any of them lied, we could tell. We are all trained in that manner. We do not have a Grand Master.
Which is why I think we put forth... There's two motions. You can continue with tradition and elect River on Mountain as the new Grand Master, as she was appointed First Master after Vihan's disgraceful removal of the position. Or you can elect a new way forward. Make a council. Have all voices be heard, and the decision fall upon all of you. It's not our place to say. If you do wish to elect a Grand Master, River has our backing.
Master Farstar speaks up and says, there is no election to be had, no decision to be had. She was the first master, by right of our traditions. River on Mountain is the new Grand Master of the August Monastery. Master Werson speaks out and says, absolutely not! Wealth couldn't lead us! She was Swarm's pet project. A protege, skilled at best, of course. But she is not our Grand Master. Master Slayer of Lightning says, I second Master Werson. River on Mountain is too inexperienced to be considered a Grand Master.
If you respected Suam, then you have to respect the people Suam chose to train to fill his position when he was gone. That is River on Mountain. You might see her as inexperienced, but really she is the most experienced. She was with him all the time. She saw his day-to-day activities in leading this monastery. Who else could be better suited to help it move forward?
You also insult Suam's legacy. He was the youngest Grand Master himself when he took up the position. Why can River not do the same?
Unless any of you are claiming that he was not a good Grand Master.
Master Julian says, none of us are claiming that. But Swam was a proven, legendary warrior when he was elected Grand Master by right of tradition. River is neither of those things.
Right now, she has proven herself by being the only one of us that faced Vihan single-handedly and lived to tell the tale.
Master Davy Bar speaks up and says,
He is right. When I tried to take Yaris's pit. Swarm and River on Mountain came. She fought just as hard as he did. And he did not require... He did not need to protect her in any shape or form. She was a true First Master. She has spent more time with Swarm than any of us. Probably almost as much as Vihan did. And we all know that Vihan could barely stand the man.
Just to ask as well, are all of the Masters aware of Ashoska's gate worthiness trial thingy?
Yes, they've all passed it. That's how they know about Ashoska.
Okay. At the same time, River was deemed worthy by Ashoska, and Vihan was not. Experience isn't everything. Age isn't everything.
River is also someone who we know has fought in the best interests of this monastery, whereas someone like Vihan, or someone who would have sided with Vihan, is not. I think all of us, and I'll gesture to those kind of in my group, and Korgrin, who's all the way over there,
And just
sort of
plastic an arm.
all of us have witnessed some selflessness and dedication these last few weeks, and I think we can safely say that River is the best bet to carry on his legacy.
Master Dunk speaks up and says,
Nice, they were right there on the front lines, helping me out with the sick and the wounded. Them people over there, they're good people. And if they say River is good, and the best choice, I think that's also the best choice.
Thank you for your support, Master Dunk.
Master Mimic and walks into the center of the chamber and looks at River. Speaks out in exactly the same voice as Suwon. I hereby declare River on Mountain to be my first master.
Who was it you said that, sorry?
Mimic. The
Master
Kenku.
Mimic.
As Master Mimic has said, she was chosen by Suam himself. What more evidence could you need of her worthiness of this position?
Nightbite will speak up and says, I know I have no place to say anything here. I fought for Vihan on this day. I swapped sides by the end of it. I take no pride in what I've done, and I will accept any punishment that the Grand Master deems fit. Not all of Vihan's students followed Vihan, as has been said. But I will tell you this now. Those of us who remain will happily follow River. She knows justice. She knows strength. She knows when to fight. She also has one of the greatest powers that is ever. A power I've only ever seen in one other person. He looks at you, Verity. Mercy. She showed me mercy when I rightfully deserved death. She has everything in an aspect this monastery needs for a Grand Master. Rural Mountain looks quite moved by that. She looks moved by everything you said about her. River, take a step forward. Regardless of whether or not you want me, you have me. You're stuck with me. I will be Grand Master. Because the people who saved the monastery, the people who Suwam trusted more than anyone else, says I can. And if they believe me, then by all the gods, what right do you people have to not believe in me either? The things these people have done, I have seen it with my own eyes. We are powerful warriors in our own rights. But I guarantee you that if this group decided to take us all down, we wouldn't be able to stop them. So that means we need to train harder. We need to work together. We need to rebuild. We need to put right the wrongs of the world. So that the next random group of people that come in off of the street don't end up becoming stronger than all of the ancient masters put together. So that Maltokio and the monastery continue having a shared future together. So that the capital does not have its way with the world, with its people, with its ways. I will follow on in Suwam's legacy. We will rebuild this monastery. We will continue with our training. And we will go to war. We will fight alongside these people. It's what Suwam wanted. And it's what I want. As your new Grand Master. And if you don't accept that, well, I don't give a fuck. The other masters... the other masters look at each other. One by one, they all kind of slowly nod. And they all bow before River. So as you say, Grand Master. As my first act as Grand Master, I hereby proclaim Master Nightbite as the new teacher to follow on and correct Vahan's mistake in his students. What?
Looks like he'll be needing both hands after all.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same.
Got quite the handful there.
Take the good from what he taught you and leave the bad. You can do well.
Today just gets weirder and weirder.
That's something to say after, you know, literally shoving your disembodied arm down someone's throat.
I thought I was gonna die. I want to get creative.
Now you get to suffer and live like the rest of us. Sucks to be you, mate.
You can be creative around a curriculum instead.
Just less brooms.
We have the brooms.
Master listens with eyes, steps forward and says, "Well, Grand Master, next question that must be asked then is, who do you appoint your first master?" River Mountain turns around to the rest of you, and all of a sudden she's got this like panicked look on her face, and she like stealthily hyperventilates. Fuck. Who do I pick?
I can't whisper. I'm on the other side of the room.
I'd say to her, I'm sure you'll make the right choice, but you can also delay this to give this more time to think.
Master Farstar was very helpful during the attack and the evacuation, as was Master Listens with Eyes. My vote would be either of those two.
I go with Rennas.
I'll whisper. I'll try and whisper loudly to her, not a rock. Just no.
Yeah, I was thinking Dunk, and I don't care if the drunk is pretend.
No, he's legitimately drunk all the time.
I thought it was like a cover sort of thing.
No, he's really drunk all the time. That's how that's his style.
Oh, then I'd definitely go with either Farstar or Listens. Because, like, yeah, you know, he was super helpful, but...
You can go for Master Mimic, and then you know that he'll always back you up, because all he'll be able to say is whatever you say.
I was going to say, you know these masters better than us. Who do you think would be able to offer you the best guidance and support? Is what it really comes down to. Like, when you make a decision, who's going to be able to talk sense into you if it's the wrong decision, or help guide you if it's the right one?
Well, it could be anyone from Master Farstar, Master Davy Bar, Master Julian, even Master Wesson.
Are there any rules against you appointing several?
I can appoint a first and a second and a third master, but the first master is the one who will become Grand Master after I am. Aye.
Is it subject to change?
Only by my discretion.
You have all the discretion.
Yes.
I mean, Vihan was removed, but only after he turned traitor. I don't think it's every other week pick a new one sort of thing.
I think there would be no harm in appointing several secondary masters, and maybe even not quite a contest, but appointing the first master a bit later. And until you do so, having all the ones you pick stand in that position.
Doesn't work like that.
Is it only the first masters who've done the challenge solo? Was it the masters or the grandmasters?
It's the masters that have done the challenge solo.
I always say whoever solves the fox's riddle.
Except obviously Nightbite at this point, but looks like he's about to go for a trial anyway, in any case.
I was actually just saying that, but surely like him defending an entire bridge against an army would count as some sort of trial at least.
Certainly would.
It's an ordeal, one might say.
Oh, it's a Tuesday for us, but you know.
A Wednesday, really.
Barney.
The other option is choosing someone who complements your monk style and who complements your ideas, but in a challenging way.
So maybe someone of a different discipline would be more beneficial.
So effectively another Suam and Vihan situation, but
Yeah.
without the whole backstory a little.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need a firm but fair hand.
Yeah, I'd lean towards Worthson, but they sounded more bitter about River's age than actually, anything else. Like any other reason to not have her as first master.
Farstar would still be my vote. I think we've seen the most of him. He's the one that stands out in my head anyway, from what we've seen.
Who has been quite agreeable with us? Just out of character.
Master Mimic, Master Dunk, Master Davivar, they've been like quite agreeable with you. Master Julian, Master Fang, Master Listens of Eyes have been very much neutral on the whole particular thing. Master Farstar has never been against you, with you, or unaligned. He has always been. You get the sense he is a monastery first kind of man, and he's able to see the bigger picture.
Which is monastery first kind of guy. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
He was also, correct me if I'm wrong, he was looking for Suam as well at his
Yes,
house.
Yes,
Rescue
he was, yes.
efforts kind of thing.
Yeah. He's also very old.
Also true.
Yeah, he's like almost as old as Suwan was. So, Master Slayer of Lightning, Master Werson, and Master Listens with Eyes, and Master Erog. They have been the ones that have been. Sorry, not Master Erog, Master Slayer of Lightning, and Master Werson. They have been more traditional based. They were more kind of agreeable with Vahan's level of thinking. That being said, like they are younger, except for Master Weston, who is a pure elf, so she's just older than most people. And they are also physically more adept than the others.
Maybe put them in as, or like one of them in as a second master, and then that way we're not cutting out a group. They still have influence, they still have power. But I would still vote for Farstar in charge, and I didn't really get much time to.
We haven't had a lot of interaction with Master Fang, and we know that Master Listens with Eyes was there challenging. We don't know. I can't remember if Listens with Eyes was going to go challenge Vihan, or if he was just going to see what was going on at Vihan's dojo.
He was standing his own against Vihan's students anyway.
Yes. So I don't mind. Farstar Listens with Eyes. Or you need someone to challenge you. However, I wouldn't say as a first master, but as a second master, I'm in agreement with someone to question your judgment, etc.
I'd also put
hard questions.
I'd like to put my hand on River's shoulder and say, "You can do it. You can make the right decision," and I'll give her bardic inspiration in case that helps.
That's not relevant for this situation.
No, I know. I just
She still
want her.
feels inspired.
I want her to feel inspired, even not a number, but just.
I'm not a number. I'm a free.
She listens to you, Russ, and she's like, "I feel a little better about myself." Because he's been decreed to be a master now, Nightbite could technically be named first or second master as well. So
No. Don't trust that little shitbag.
It's not so much a trust thing, but I feel like that would kind of just be like, shitting on the faces of every other master.
We've created another Vihan situation of this guy that we've just promoted as now first master, and fuck the rest of you.
Yeah.
They'd all be bitter and turn against him.
that's exactly what happened to Vidaj, isn't it?
Exactly. So
Like this guy who killed people suddenly comes out of nowhere, becomes first master, stealing the position from somebody else who's been there for ages.
Yeah. I say you couldn't go much worse than Farstar for an inevitable Grandmaster as someone who has the bigger picture in mind. I also wouldn't say as a second master Listens with Eyes or Gillian was quite level-headed, albeit a bit not what's the word? Like difficult, but she was challenging. Reasonably challenging. So I'm not contributing, that's just me out of character.
I think I like George's description.
Fair.
Otti, have you had anything to say on the matter? Otti?
Sorry, she's thinking and muttering to herself.
Hi, sorry. Muttering. No, kind of, I think complimentary, but with a good amount of resistance, so things can't always go like the one way rather than the other. Honestly, I think Farstar and Listens with Eyes.
I feel exactly the same, those two.
Okay. Well, I think it's been voted on then. So, River and Mountain was going, okay. She turned around to the rest of them and she says, there is one individual here who has given so much to this monastery, almost as much as Swan did before me. And I would be a fool to not listen to their experience, accept their aid. I know for a fact they hold the monastery in their highest regard. I named Master Farstar as first master. Master Farstar just raises his eyebrow and goes, oh, goodness, my heart beated for a moment there. Grand Master River and Mountain, thank you very much for this opportunity. And with all my heart, I respectfully decline. I do not have much time left. I will happily aid you in any way I see fit. But the position of First Master should be a long-term position. That does not suit me one bit. I've never had the ambitions of First Master. After seeing what happened to Vahan, I'd rather remove that temptation altogether.
We knew he was good. He was too good. Farstar was too good for us.
I accept your generosity and your selflessness, Master Farstar. Who I would have named Second Master goes back towards you, Master Listens with Eyes. Me? I name you First Master. Our styles are very much complementary of each other, and you were there to challenge Viham. Whilst you have always tried to keep to the shadows, your love for this monastery and its students shine brighter than anything else. Master Listens with Eyes steps forward and says, thank you, Grand Master. Whilst I don't say much, he doesn't say anything else.
This motherfucker.
I was expecting him to decline as well. I was like, God damn it.
A little panic of mine for the moment as well. I'm like, if he fucking does as well.
So, River and Mountain smiles. She says, well then I think there's only one more matter we need to discuss. I would like to hear everyone's opinions on this before I make a decision.
The ones who fought for Vahan today. What is to be their fate?
I don't know if you did it on purpose, but really happy music started playing the second you decided to talk about this.
The
We'll
playlist.
torture them.
It's so random.
I'm kind of inclined to hear the Master's opinions first and then say our own, just to see where they stand and make sure that they're not being influenced immediately by what we say.
I would like to hear Nightbite's opinion, especially. As I said, I think he's got the most insight on it. He was exactly where they were.
I think Nightbite and I will probably share the same opinion.
Nightbite will say, my honest opinion is that probably have a discussion with some of them. The ones who you can tell at a glance would likely just talk with you. The ones who will talk are the ones who can listen. The ones who won't look at you, the ones who won't say a word. You should execute them all. Because they will never stop. Master Erog says, I second Master Nightbite's opinion. But you shouldn't talk to any of them. They are traitors, every one of them.
A master has a lot of influence over their students. You must know this.
Did you say Master Erog said that? Sorry.
Yeah.
Then surely you should die too. You fought on his side before we convinced you otherwise.
I was tricked.
So,
I did not know
were
what was going
they?
on.
And possibly so were his students. That is the point.
You're
I
a
was
master. If he could trick you, surely he'd be able to
Night-
trick them. Talk to them.
Nightbite will put up his hands. I was not tricked. I knew exactly what was going on. I changed my mind. The others were not tricked. We knew what we were doing.
But what you were doing was serving your master who you had sworn undying loyalty to and had a great wave of influence over you. Without him in the picture, I believe there must be at least some students of his, including yourself, who can be better monks and help take this monastery forward into the future.
Really?
Master Farstar will say, I agree with the Taunter of Fate. There must be some way that we can reach them, rehabilitate them.
May I say something?
Yeah?
Verity's gonna just, be a little bit fidgety, just,
Speak.
I forget how to pronounce his name. Erog?
Master Erog.
Erog. Master Erog?
Yes.
One of the most painful things about manipulation is that someone can convince you to do something and make you think it's your own idea. You are lucky to realize that you were tricked. And you must know that Master Vihan was very skilled and persuasive in his ways. It would be unbecoming of the monastery to just kill people blindly. I honestly think if there are genuine efforts made to reach out to them, to help them, they can be healed. As much as I am fighting in this war, I am not an advocate for unnecessary violence. I am an idiot in my own ways. I'm a clown, I talk too much, and I try to think the best of everyone because it's easier than to think everyone's against you. And it may be selfish of me to think, but I like to think that me reaching out to Nightbite helped him.
It did.
So can't you extend that and help others?
I abstain from my choice.
I don't understand what that really means out of character. What?
It means he's choosing not to make a choice.
Instead of executing people, he's saying, I'm not going to make a decision. So if this were a vote, he's no longer voting.
Yeah.
And to the rest of the council, you all love your students, and I'm sure had any of them gone down the wrong path, you would help to guide them to the correct way. Please show Wuhan students the teachings and considerations they could never receive. The guidance, your wisdom. They are obviously very talented to have Wuhan want to take them in. And I'm sure under Nightbite's care, whilst he's learning from you, they would be a great asset to the monastery. I'm sure there will be some minds that will be harder to change than others, and we are in desperate times right now. But violence has to end somewhere. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm talking too much now. I'm just gonna sink backwards. Bearing in mind, I'm saying this all blue, bold, shrunken clothes because I've grown.
Yeah.
Beaten within an inch of my life.
Yep.
So silly.
The masters will choose as following. Nightbite believes that those who can be reasoned with should be reasoned with, and then the rest should be executed. Master Erog abstains. Master Werson believes in execution with minimal choice. Master Fang believes in imprisonment with slow rehabilitation. Master Farstar believes in imprisonment with rehabilitation. Master Dunk believes in getting them all wasted and then thrown in jail. Master Jillian believes in exile for them, as does Master Davy Bar. Master Slayer on Lightning believes in forgiveness, purely because they are the monastery's most skilled warriors, and if they're going to go to war, he believes they are needed. So their transgressions need to be forgiven and forgotten about because they as warriors are needed. And Master Mimic agrees with Master Slayer of Lightning. Master listens with eyes. He is in two minds. That he believes that they need to be brought back into the fold after some heavy deprogramming from manipulation.
I'd actually give that one some support.
And those who can't be deprogrammed should be exiled.
Exile is the coward's option. Those who can't be deprogrammed. Exile is just giving the problem to someone else. They'll still be evil, murdering scumbags. They'll just go and kill evil, murdering scumbags somewhere else.
They'll become our problem tomorrow. If they get exiled, they'll get taken in by our enemies, most likely.
With false promises of restoring the monastery to Wuhan's way. I don't think exile is appropriate given the climate. If we weren't at war with another nation who would strive for any ounce of information on their own enemies, I would be inclined to agree that exile is perfectly acceptable. If you don't want to execute them, we dwarves do have a way to signify traitors, that they may still serve a purpose within society. If I'm correct in understanding, prisoners and other unwanteds used to be sent here in the old way, before the doors were thrown wide open. You could have them marked as just those that cannot be deprogrammed, have them marked as warriors, not worth seeking their opinion of, but only of their fists in fighting. Brand them. It's what we do. So that you know their tongue cannot be trusted, but their fists can.
This key these monks use is very powerful, though. What kind of mark could be given that we could guarantee would not be able to be hidden with magical key?
Oh, it's very obvious. For dwarves, you shave their hair and you brand them with a metal iron on their head.
Hair grows. Oh, no, I suppose it wouldn't with the metal branding.
Not through burn scars, no.
Okay, well then I buy a wig.
Are you going to buy a wig in a monastery?
We're also not planning on
The wig store's just down the corner.
What was that, Arri?
Just saying that we're not planning on branding Rennas. He said that he'll wear a wig. So
I was putting myself in their shoes. I was being empathetic.
I wonder if we could brand him with an anchor and then put a W on the front of it.
Definitely.
I like it.
I'm a wonderful anchor. I keep the party grounded.
Try again.
River on Mountain.
Dwarven tradition, that's all.
River on Mountain thanks everyone, their opinions. She will make a decision tonight. Unless there's anything else you guys would like to discuss with the Council of Masters, River on Mountain will call this meeting to an end.
Just a quick thank you for your support and the support in the days ahead. We'll do what we can.
So, by sundown, two things have happened. The first thing is a large detachment of soldiers from Maltokyo arrive. They saw the fires in the distance and they organised what they could to come and assist until they realise that the situation has already come under control.
Just in the nick of time, guys. Thanks a lot.
They are led by Lord Talasan.
He was the old bloke, wasn't he?
Yes, the one who used to be a monk.
Mm-hmm.
A little disappointed he couldn't render any more assistance. He does request to see Suwan Pati. However, shortly after your meeting, it is announced that Vihan Adira, disgraced former First Master, was killed in combat against Suwan Pati and the group known as the Guardians of the Forgotten. By the time that Lord Talasan turns up, the monastery is already in a wave of grief. Monks weep in the corridors, trees, in the rivers. Suwan meant something to everyone. When Lord Talasan finds out about this, his troops are shocked to say the least. And without much words,
anybody else other than River, his troops depart to Mount Tokyo. River will send word to each of you in turn. She is concerned that with the death of Suwam, Mount Tokyo will pull out.
I'll ask River who Lord Talasan, who he trained under when he was at the school.
He trained under Suwam himself.
Okay. I mean, that's better than training under Bihan, I guess.
So River asks that tomorrow, when the Maltokian Council render their verdict, you will be present with her to give to show off a sense of unity within the monastery itself. That she wants to show them that despite Suwam has died, the monastery is still strong and still protects Maltokian.
That's doable.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the Vihan's followers, she has a lot to think about. In the end, she decides that half of them are to be imprisoned, or the ones who have shown more agreeable sides of themselves, and even the ones that may be a bit younger, and they are to be faced with rehabilitation and deprogramming. The other half, roughly about 100 monks in total, who would follow Vihan willingly and trained under him for many years, they are hung from the walls.
My respect for River grows.
She did not want to do this, but her position is precarious enough as it is, and in the face of literal treachery, she shows strength and force, as well as the ability to reason with those who can be reasoned with.
But fair.
The monastery will undergo efforts to repair the damage done immediately, but a full census has been taken. Vihan and his followers did more damage to structure more than people. By the end of it, she counts over 10,000 monks. And those 10,000 monks will fight for you in the wars to come. And they will now finally update your war assets with the appropriate numbers for the August Monastery. As the 10,000 monks will join you.
Well, that's better than a slap in the face.
Mm.
You all begin long resting in the evening. And what happens that night is entirely down to your discretions. But, Otti, one person comes to see you in the night. Master Mimic.
I open the door slightly, but I don't let him in the room.
He just stares at you. He's like kind of pecking his wing with his beak at the moment, and just looks at you. Master Mimic, I want you to give a message to Otti should my duties take me away. Tell her that I'm very proud of her and what she can do, and I think she's a very capable individual.
do this with discretion. I don't want to put her on the spot. No matter wherever the war goes, I will be thinking of her safety. But I know full well that she could take care of herself, so you might as well just get rid of that part. I'm not too sure what I actually want to say to her. It's also very new. But she reminds me of her mother. She reminds me of her grandmother. Just tell her I'm proud of her. And that I won't die. I just need to rest.
Like, she was clearly crying before she answered the door. She's now crying again.
Master Mimic makes the sound of your crying with you.
Jesus Christ!
And you can see he is upset. Like, he is upset.
I try and gather myself around it, and I just hold out a hand to his wing and thank him for all he's done. It means a lot, and I appreciate you delivering the message. If you don't mind, I need to be by myself.
Thank you. I appreciate everything you've done. If you don't mind, I need to be by myself.
Whose voice is that, in Rivers?
No, that was in Otti's voice.
Oh, okay.
Literally just repeating what Orisha said.
Gotcha.
With that, Master Mimic gives you a bow, and he exits. And that's where we'll call tonight's session, guys.